The heavenly position of a kingdom man. A man up is seated in heavenly places. Every true man of Yahuah lives in two dimensions at once. The world sees your body on earth, but heaven knows your spirit is seated with Mashiach in realms of victory, authority, and divine order. Ephesians 2:6 says this, and hath raised us up together and made us sit together in heavenly places in Mashiach Yahusha. This is not symbolism. It is spiritual reality. You are not climbing towards heaven. You are operating from heaven. You are not praying for authority. You are exercising the authority already given. When Yahusha ascended, he sat down at the right hand of the Father, the throne of completed victory. When you were born from above, your spirit was placed in him, sharing his seat, his power, and his right to decree. This is the mystery of dual dominion. Here is the mystery. In heaven you reign with him. On earth you reflect him. Your earthly walk mirrors your heavenly seat. Every word of faith you speak echoes from the throne room. When you decree in alignment with Yahuah's word, you activate both realms. Heaven releases and earth responds. All you need to do is let your pride take second place and humble yourself before him, and his word will become power in your mouth. In effect, you are grounding the power from on high, releasing that power contained in his word into the world, changing the spiritual atmosphere and taking every thought captive to the obedience of Mashiach. Heaven doesn't move because you shout. It moves because you mirror the will of Yahuah. When your heart, your mouth, and your faith align with his decree, you become the channel through which heaven governs the earth. Heaven speaks, you align, you proclaim, earth responds. This is not poetry, it is priestly warfare in motion. This is why the enemy fears a man who knows who he is. A confused man begs, a seated man commands. The king and the priest, in Yahusha, kingship and priesthood unite. You are both. A priest who ascends in worship and revelation. A king who decrees with authority to establish order on earth. A king under the King of Kings, who is our Melchizedek high priest. When you rise in prayer and descend in proclamation, you bring heaven and earth into agreement. You are not echoing empty faith. You are legislating divine order. The mandate of Man Up is this. The Man Up mandate exists to restore this revelation to every son of Yahuah, to awaken men who no longer live as victims of the natural realm, but as mirrors of the heavenly realm. Men who stand between heaven and earth as bridges of divine power, enforcing the victory of Mashiach in every sphere of life, home, city, and nation. You are not of the chaos below. You are the order of heaven made visible. When heaven moves, you move. When heaven speaks, you speak. When heaven decrees, you declare, and the world must realign. The proclamation of the seated man. By the word of Yahuah, I take my place in Mashiach's victory. I am seated above fear, lack, and confusion. As heaven decrees, I declare on earth. I command light to rule over darkness in order to overcome chaos. I am a mirror of divine authority, a man up under heaven, reflecting heaven. This is a call to rise. Men of Yahuah, it is time to rise into your true position. You were never meant to crawl through life as slaves to circumstance. You were raised to sit, to rule, to reflect. Heaven is not waiting to move, it is waiting for you to speak. 2 Corinthians 4:13 makes this very clear. I believed, therefore I spoke. Speak what heaven says, and the realms will move in response. When a man takes his heavenly seat and opens his mouth in faith, the realms align. Heaven responds, earth obeys, the kingdom advances. Man up, mirror heaven, command earth. The stand of the sons, we stand as men under no man, brothers under one king, Yahusha HaMashiach. We do not gather to build a name, a church, or a brand, but to raise a standard, a banner of heaven over the hearts of men. Our gatherings can happen anywhere, in parks, on beaches, in streets, or in the quiet of the wilderness. There are no rules, only reverence. Men can meet at any time, day or night, as the Ruach leads. Everyone, man alone, can release power. Even one man alone can release power. Yet the first hour before dawn carries a sacred mystery, the crossing from darkness to light. It is there, as the night yields to the rising sun, that we proclaim the victory of the King who conquered the grave. When men stand shoulder to shoulder beneath the open sky, proclaiming the word of Yahuah aloud, the very atmosphere trembles. Darkness flees, heaven draws near, the air becomes alive with the presence of the King. We stand not behind walls, but beneath heaven's canopy. We proclaim not to impress men, but to confront unseen powers. Every decree spoken in faith tears through the veil of darkness and releases the light of truth over our land. This is the secret of the stand, not hidden but holy. We are the Ecclesia in the wild. We are not a church, we are an Ecclesia in the wild, not an Ecclesia that is called in, we are called out. Living stones forming a living temple where Yahuah dwells among his sons. Each man is a voice, a witness, and a warrior. We lead by lowering ourselves, we rule by serving, and we rise only to lift others higher. Our unity is not built on structure but on spirit. Our gatherings are not bound by hierarchy but carried by heaven. The men of Man Up are no man's master, but every man's servant. Together we turn darkness to light, for the light himself stands among us. The freedom within. Freedom begins within, for the kingdom of Yahuah is within. If the King Yahuah is within, then his freedom spreads through your spoken words, releasing light, life, and liberty wherever you stand. From within it flows outward, transforming homes, cities, and nations. We are the sons of light. Yahuah reigns forever.